Have you ever looked back at a relationship and thought, how did I not see that coming? The signs were there. The cold replies. The broken promises. The constant excuses. The way they made you question your own feelings instead of taking responsibility for their actions. But in the moment, you ignored it. Maybe you called it love. Maybe you called it patience. Maybe you believed they would change if you just gave them enough time. Now here is the real question: which zodiac sign do you think is most guilty of ignoring relationship red flags? Is it Pisces, who sees potential instead of reality? Is it Libra, who hates conflict and wants peace at any cost? Or is it Cancer, who holds on emotionally even when everything is falling apart? Zodiac signs are often used to understand personality patterns, emotional habits, love styles, and relationship behavior. Of course, your zodiac sign does not control your entire life, and not every person of the same sign acts the same way. But astrology can reveal certain tendencies: the way people love, the way they attach, the way they forgive, and the way they avoid uncomfortable truths. In relationships, one of the most dangerous patterns is ignoring red flags. These are the warning signs that something is unhealthy, unstable, or emotionally unsafe. In this video, we are going to explore which zodiac sign is most likely to overlook major relationship red flags, why they do it, and what they need to understand before love turns into emotional damage. Ignoring red flags does not usually destroy a relationship overnight. It happens slowly. First, you excuse one bad behavior. Then you explain away another. Then you start defending things you once promised yourself you would never tolerate. A red flag can be dishonesty, emotional manipulation, jealousy, disrespect, inconsistency, controlling behavior, or someone refusing to take accountability. The problem is that when you ignore these things early, they often grow stronger later. What begins as they were just having a bad day can turn into a pattern of emotional neglect. What begins as they are just protective can become control. What begins as they are busy can become emotional unavailability. And by the time you realize the truth, your heart is already deeply invested. Most people do not ignore red flags because they are foolish. They ignore them because they are emotionally attached to a version of the person that may not fully exist. They see the sweet moments, the chemistry, the deep conversations, and the future they imagine together. So when something feels wrong, they do not immediately walk away. They search for reasons to stay. They think, maybe I am overreacting. They tell themselves, nobody is perfect. And sometimes, they confuse loyalty with self-abandonment. This is where zodiac traits become interesting, because each sign has a different emotional weakness. Some signs ignore red flags because they fear loneliness. Some ignore them because they crave excitement. Others ignore them because they believe love should be difficult, painful, or endlessly forgiving. Libra is one sign that can easily overlook relationship red flags, especially when those red flags threaten the peace they are trying to protect. Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet associated with love, beauty, balance, and harmony. Because of this, Libra often wants relationships to feel calm, fair, and emotionally beautiful. But their desire for harmony can become a weakness when they avoid confrontation. If their partner is acting unfairly, Libra may try to understand both sides instead of clearly naming the problem. If there is tension, they may smooth it over instead of addressing it directly. This can cause Libra to tolerate disrespect longer than they should, not because they do not notice it, but because they hope kindness and patience will restore balance. Pisces is another zodiac sign that can struggle with red flags because they often see people through the lens of compassion, fantasy, and emotional potential. Pisces can look at someone's pain and believe their love will heal it. They can see broken behavior and imagine the beautiful person underneath. This makes Pisces deeply empathetic, but it can also make them vulnerable to manipulation. If someone is inconsistent, Pisces may focus on the one beautiful message they sent last week. If someone hurts them, Pisces may remember their childhood wounds and feel sorry for them. The biggest challenge for Pisces is learning that understanding someone's pain does not mean accepting their harmful behavior. Compassion should never require losing yourself. Taurus can also ignore relationship red flags, but for a different reason. Taurus values stability, loyalty, comfort, and consistency. Once they emotionally invest in someone, they do not like to let go easily. They may stay in a relationship because it feels familiar, even if it no longer feels healthy. Taurus can convince themselves that every relationship has problems and that leaving too quickly would be disloyal. Their patience is powerful, but it can become dangerous when they use it to tolerate repeated disappointment. A Taurus may ignore red flags because they do not want to start over. They may hold on because they built memories, routines, and emotional security around someone. But staying just because something is familiar does not mean it is right. Leo can miss red flags when their pride and heart become attached to the image of a powerful love story. Leo loves deeply, passionately, and generously. When they choose someone, they often want that relationship to feel meaningful and special. But this can create blind spots. If their partner gives them attention, admiration, or intense affection, Leo may overlook deeper problems beneath the surface. They may ignore inconsistency if the chemistry is strong. They may forgive disrespect if the apology feels dramatic enough. Leo does not like feeling played, rejected, or embarrassed, so sometimes they stay longer than they should because admitting the truth feels painful. Their challenge is realizing that real love does not need to constantly prove itself through emotional highs and lows. Scorpio is known for depth, passion, loyalty, and emotional intensity. Because of this, Scorpio can sometimes confuse emotional chaos with emotional truth. If a relationship feels intense, consuming, and psychologically deep, Scorpio may believe it is meaningful, even when it is unhealthy. They are not easily fooled, but they can become attached to complicated people. Scorpio may notice the red flags clearly, but instead of walking away, they may investigate, test, analyze, or try to gain control over the situation. This can keep them emotionally trapped. They may think, I know something is wrong, but I need to understand it first. The danger is that understanding a toxic pattern does not automatically protect you from being hurt by it. Now we come closer to one of the strongest candidates, Cancer. Cancer is deeply emotional, protective, nurturing, and attached to the people they love. When Cancer gives their heart, they often give it with memory, loyalty, and emotional depth. They remember the first conversation, the first promise, the first moment that made them feel safe. And because Cancer loves through emotional bonding, they can struggle to leave even when the relationship becomes painful. They may ignore red flags because they believe love means staying through hard times. They may hold on to who someone was in the beginning, even when that person is no longer treating them the same way. Cancer's heart can become a home for people who no longer deserve shelter there. But the zodiac sign most likely to ignore the biggest relationship red flags is Pisces. Pisces does not just overlook red flags because they are attached. They overlook them because they often rewrite them into something more beautiful than they are. Pisces can turn inconsistency into they are scared of love. They can turn emotional distance into they need healing. They can turn disrespect into they did not mean it that way. Their imagination, empathy, and romantic hope can become so strong that reality becomes blurry. Pisces wants to believe in the soul behind the behavior. They want to believe love can transform pain. And sometimes, they stay not because the relationship is healthy, but because the possibility of what it could become feels too powerful to abandon. Pisces' biggest blind spot is potential. They often fall in love with who someone could be, not who they consistently are. This is dangerous because potential can keep you emotionally invested in a future that never arrives. A Pisces may say, they have been hurt before, so I understand why they act this way. They may say, deep down, they are a good person. And maybe that is true. But being a good person deep down does not excuse hurting someone repeatedly on the surface. Pisces often sees the wounded child inside their partner, the hidden softness, the unspoken trauma, the dream version of them. But a relationship cannot survive on hidden goodness alone. It needs visible respect, consistent effort, emotional safety, and accountability. Pisces may ignore a partner who disappears and returns whenever they want, because Pisces believes in emotional complexity. They may ignore someone who gives mixed signals, because they think love is supposed to be mysterious. They may tolerate broken promises because they focus on the apology instead of the repeated pattern. They may stay with someone emotionally unavailable because they believe their patience will eventually open that person's heart. Pisces may even blame themselves when something feels wrong, wondering if they were too sensitive, too needy, or too emotional. This is where the danger becomes serious. When Pisces stops trusting their intuition, they become easier to manipulate. And ironically, Pisces usually senses the truth early, they just do not always want to accept it. Pisces struggles to walk away because endings feel deeply emotional for them. They do not just lose a person, they lose the dream, the fantasy, the imagined future, and the emotional world they built around that connection. Walking away can feel like betraying the love they believed in. Pisces may also feel guilty for leaving someone who is struggling. They may think, what if I abandon them when they need me most? But love is not supposed to turn you into someone's emotional rescue mission. A partner can have pain, trauma, or struggles, but they still have responsibility for how they treat you. Pisces must learn that leaving an unhealthy relationship is not cruelty. Sometimes, it is self-respect finally becoming louder than hope. The lesson Pisces needs to learn is simple but powerful: empathy without boundaries becomes self-sacrifice. You can understand someone and still walk away. You can love someone and still admit they are not healthy for you. You can see their pain and still refuse to be damaged by it. Pisces has one of the most beautiful hearts in the zodiac, but that heart needs protection. Red flags are not tests of your loyalty. They are warnings asking you to pay attention. When someone repeatedly shows you who they are, do not keep searching for the version of them you imagined. Love should feel safe, not confusing. It should bring peace, not constant emotional guessing. It should make you feel valued, not endlessly responsible for saving someone else. If you are dating a Pisces, understand that they may forgive more than they should and feel more than they say. Do not take advantage of their softness. Do not mistake their patience for weakness. Pisces often gives people multiple chances because they believe in healing, growth, and emotional depth. But if you love a Pisces, you need to be honest, consistent, and emotionally responsible. They do not need perfect love, but they do need safe love. And if you are a Pisces watching this, pay attention to patterns, not promises. Anyone can say the right words after hurting you. The real question is whether their behavior changes after the apology. Your intuition is not the problem. Ignoring it is. So, while Libra may ignore red flags to keep peace, Taurus may ignore them because they fear losing stability, Cancer may ignore them because of emotional loyalty, and Scorpio may stay because of intensity. Pisces is the sign most likely to ignore the biggest relationship red flags. Why? Because Pisces can love the dream so deeply that they delay facing the truth. Their compassion is powerful, but it must be balanced with boundaries. Their hope is beautiful, but it must be grounded in reality. The advice is this: stop asking whether someone has potential and start asking whether they are showing consistent respect right now. Because love is not measured by how much pain you can endure. It is measured by how safe, valued, and honest the connection truly feels. Now I want to hear from you. Which zodiac sign do you think ignores the biggest relationship red flags? Do you agree that Pisces takes the top spot, or do you think it should be Cancer, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, or another sign completely? Share your experience in the comments, because sometimes the real stories are even more revealing than astrology itself. And if this video made you think about your own relationship patterns, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more zodiac insights, relationship psychology, and deep personality breakdowns. Your sign may explain your patterns, but your awareness is what gives you the power to change them.